And this week on DavidBanner.com, we bring to you Them Firewire Boys, the original debut album from David Banner, featuring Pimp C of UGK, Devin the Dude, Theme, Young Bleed, and a host of other great artists. For a limited time, you can pick this up at DavidBanner.com. And you can get it for the very low price of... How much is it, Regina? Oh, don't worry about that. Just find it at www.davidbanner.com. For all you ladies, you can use the front cover as a loofah.
David Banner.
Oh, shit, son. David Banner Podcast. My name is David Banner. What's happening?
David Banner.
Shout out to Malcolm X. Malcolm X's birthday. We hadn't said this in a long time. Lay down. Get sprayed down, cracker.
What up, man?
Scott, bling, bling.
What's up with these crackers, man?
Still up them crackers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you got friends. Hey,
I have friends too.
Scott
I
Parker.
said I got friends too.
What's up?
Happy Malcolm X Day, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Malik El Haj Jabbar.
You know what I'm saying?
With the bling, bling.
Yeah, I put the rose gold in his honor today. You feel me? Lord Duck.
Regina,
Yes, sir.
how you doing?
I'm good.
Corey, fuck all white dogs today.
No, do not fornicate with any white dogs today.
I'm Malik Shabbat.
What's up with you, Regina?
What's up?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
happy to see
I'm
you.
bright today.
I
You
see
like
it.
it? Represent.
Hey, Boogie in here. Tommy Nova, you look tired as fuck. And fuck is the operative word.
Lemonade.
Bro, I ain't go to sleep till 9 a.m. Yeah.
Was on them beats.
I'm beat. Yeah. Finishing up this album, man. Godbox 2.
Back on these beats.
Yeah.
IRS is coming, so.
Oh, shit, son.
Oh, you want it? What?
Oh,
Who want
shit.
it?
You're a woody now. You my woody.
Oh, yeah, you want
You're a
it.
woody. All right, y'all. So, what's up this week, man? What y'all been up to? Corey, tell me something good, bro.
Oh man, it's the same old, you know, just still self-quarantine, working from home.
We miss you, Corey.
We
I
miss
don't.
you.
Fucking stay your ass
Dang.
over there, nigga.
Corey, you representing over there, though. I like
Hey,
it.
man, got to.
I think Corey making so much money in the crib, he really don't want to come out. He don't want to jinx that bread.
And that's a pretty big room, so the crib might be.
I mean, it looks big. It's not that as big.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, bring me some records. I'm working on the album.
Me
All
too,
right.
Corey.
Just a couple.
Bring you some records? Them motherfuckers gonna send them. You gonna FedEx
That's
them motherfuckers?
hilarious. You gonna spray the bitches down.
You gonna send them by the DoorDash.
They gonna Uber you some records. You gonna
fucked
place
up.
them in the back seat. The motherfucking car gonna pull up with nobody in there. Just a box of crate of records.
And now there's gonna be a dog with a whole bunch of records in his mouth.
It's like the news.
You know how they lay the food down now, no touching shit? He gonna lay the records down and the dog gonna back
You
up.
know the funniest thing they
He gonna
say?
send his Tesla on self-drive.
Hilarious.
All these previews, oh, we got contactless pizza now. Like, so y'all was touching my shit before? Like, what the fuck? Y'all should have, from the moment it comes out the oven, it's contactless. Like, y'all was finger fucking my pizza beforehand. That shit be fucking me up every time I hear it,
So
dog.
crazy.
What was that movie about the high school kids? They was fucking the American Pie.
Oh,
They
yeah.
was fucking your pizza, bro.
Right.
That's so disgusting.
Scott, what's up with you, bro? What you been up to, man?
Chilling, man. Working on this app, trying to get some, passive revenue going in the midst of this pandemic. Chilling.
Okay, well, day is awesome. We're gonna keep it moving. Regina, are we going to the black business now?
Oh, we can?
Yeah.
Okay, so the black business today is Bay Candles.
Bay candle.
Mm-hmm. They actually.
I ain't gotta make the little heart sign when I say it.
That would be nice. I know. I knew you wouldn't, but it doesn't hurt to try. No?
Tell me the story behind Bay Candle.
Well, this couple in quarantine during this COVID-19, they've been listening to you, and you know how you encourage people to get out and do it, and they was like, bump that, we gonna just do it. So
So is this our
while they
first
were
banner,
home-
baby? This is sort of like our baby. No,
That's the
seriously.
Banner baby.
I mean, like the Banner podcast, the David Banner
And they
podcast.
just
You
started in
probably got some
February now.
Banner babies running around this one.
Listen,
Oh,
listen,
mine got
focus.
swallowed.
No, this is Jonathan Hill and Ann Bennett created this just in February.
Okay.
3 months ago.
I like them
They
too.
birthed, and they
I
smell.
done burned
They
the shit out
smell
of
really good. Bay candles.
So you set me up. You had me to use them first to make sure.
Yeah,
that
we got to make sure our stuff is right.
No,
I
agree with
believe in that. I used it,
Oh God,
and I had a really good time
I
that
bet
night.
you did.
that. I'm gonna stand tall
In it.
I'm all in it. Shave it on my back like a cardigan. Taller again.
Despite their nonsense, these candles are made with love.
Hey, hold on.
Bay candles. Oh
Boy,
God.
Keisha on my playlist.
All right, go ahead.
www.baycandlesingular.com. I'm gonna spell it too. Guess what? BAECANDLE.com. Bay Candle. Y'all go out and support.
Yeah, they do smell good, real stuff.
They really do.
Um,
And we have yours, Scott and Corey.
Jonathan.
I'm going to use Corey's because he can't come outside and get them.
Jonathan and Ann, we are really, really proud of you. All jokes aside, we're really, really proud of you. And that's the thing that means the most to us, for us to be able to influence and push people past their limits and to do things that they never thought they could do. Like, we've been doing this less than a year now, right? Mm-hmm. So that means they really had to get off their ass and get to it, because you know how many candles I got in my house. I've been burning this shit.
2 months, people.
Scott, can I have
3
yours?
months. 3 months, people. Scott. Yeah, they
I
smell
put them in
good.
your room?
No, and don't go in my room.
Yes, sir. I'm not going in your room that's in my house.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank y'all. Once again, Bay Candles, we appreciate y'all y'all's support. Once again, www.baycandle.com.
BAE.
And y'all be sure to let us know how the podcast is helping you all. So that's the Black Business today. Well, you gonna talk about Jordan today, then.
Oh, okay. We can talk about Mike then.
Sally! It's your time, brother.
It's always my time.
Sally!
We back on the block.
I've been drinking so much water. I gotta pee! I really do.
You know what, for real? How about this?
Go pee. You can catch a
Hey!
You must have had a great weekend.
I did.
Oh, wow. Look.
I just said I did.
Oh,
And I can't.
It's on you, Sally.
Oh, nah. So they, they finished up that documentary, that Last Dance. I'm kind of salty. It's like I want more. Like
Me
that
too.
10 wasn't
I was
enough.
gonna say it seemed like
It's like it
10,
went
man.
fast. Like when that first came on, it was like, oh, it's gonna be 5 weeks. It's 5 weeks. That's a fucking month. That week one. Like, that shit went by quick.
Yeah, that was
Bro,
amazing.
You gotta peep it, bro. So, cause we gotta have a conversation. One of the things that I was gonna talk about, I was waiting for Scott to see it, is that there was a lot of talk about how Jordan, the tactics that Jordan used to push people, and I've never met a really, really solid leader that didn't push people to their edge, at least at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What was your favorite part of the documentary?
It was multiple parts. One that they showed just this past weekend that I picked up on that people probably just bypassed like it was nothing. So it was obviously how close him and his father was, and what that male influence played in his life. But then when his pops passed, and they was talking about the guy Gus, who was his security guy, the head, and like how he had that older person around him that kept him in order. In times he might have did some other stuff. He said he kept that influence, and I just think a lot of people don't understand having that older influence of a solid person that keeps you in line is so important, and just having an older male to like just show you the ropes. Like, you need that, man.
And
like,
you can really tell that he
bypassed
looks
that.
to him.
Right.
Like, even when he was at some of the games, you could see him, like, looking for, some type of approval. That was one of my favorite parts of these 2 episodes.
And the part where his wife said, like, when Jordan was having anxiety attacks about his dad or he started tripping, dude would get up, 2, 3,
Okay,
4
go to
o'clock
him.
in the morning and get to him. You know what I'm saying? And those are the types of friendship. You could even tell the way that Jordan interacted with him in contrast to everybody else, too.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Corey, did you get a chance to see it?
I haven't seen the last episode. I've seen
Man,
everything
it's
up to the
amazing.
last episode.
Well, up into the last episode, what was some of your favorite parts?
One thing that stood out was just how Jordan would create these games in his mind as a way of like, he'd make up, oh, this guy said this about me, so I'm gonna go ahead and bust his ass on the court the next game. And those types of games were cool to me because it's like, dang, it's just cool to see the mechanisms behind motivating and pushing someone to that limit and beyond. So I thought that was pretty cool.
See how I could use that in my sex life.
That's
Just make up a story. What you say, girl? What you say?
I do that too, though, but I really like that. No, not that whole sex thing you're talking about with the girl. I'm talking about
What the fuck?
just clarity, baby, clarity. I'm just saying you use certain things that people say or do to motivate you to push through. Right. I do that a lot in the gym.
And I think like the biggest thing people need to take from it too, like even with like whatever you do, like everybody, even in sports or whatever, you may not be the absolute best at what you do. Like he had the skill level also. That's what made him so great. But just that work ethic to just keep going. And even when you reach the top, like to still push harder and find something that make you keep going, even when you've achieved the ultimate goal, to just keep pushing like that. Like that's something to be said.
You know what I thought was dope too is that one of the guys, I don't remember who was speaking, and he was saying how we kind of go on in our normal life and we think about the future or the past, but how Jordan stayed present. Like he was always in the present. That's pretty
One of the things I was really surprised about too, I would have never thought, like Paxton really gave Kerr like the cheat code.
Yeah.
Like he told him exactly. He was like, hey, if you want to survive on this team, this is exactly what you need to do. You know what I mean?
That's how it's supposed to be, though.
Yeah, it is.
The story about Kerr's father, I never had heard about that till then. Like never, not a peep of it
Corey,
until
did
that
you see
moment.
that
He coached
part?
one of my favorite teams.
That's on the most recent episode?
No, I thought that was on the 9th episode.
Well, he probably didn't see Sundays,
He
period.
probably didn't see Sundays,
Oh,
period.
okay, it was
Yeah,
2. You missed 9 and 10.
Yeah, so it's 9 and 10. Because I was just watching back to back anyway.
So who do you think they should do next? Nobody?
Oh,
Nah.
Bruce Lee coming up.
You know I'm on that one,
Bruce
right?
Lee's coming up. Who else? Sosa, Mark
McGuire,
Yep.
and then
Did they do Bo Jackson?
Yeah, they already did.
Okay.
Bo was like one of the highest rated ones until this one. Like that Bo Knows one, like the premiere of it was Bo Knows was the highest rated one to this Jordan one.
So that's a 30 for 30.
30 for 30.
I've never watched the 30 for 30s, but I'm like so on right
you gotta
now.
go catch
I don't
up.
usually
Like,
watch ESPN,
I was on them
but
from like day one.
just put me
I
in.
thought Benji.
What?
Was the Benji about the basketball player.
That wasn't the high. Nah, Bo Knows was the highest one too. This one.
I didn't know that. I thought it was-
But like everybody,
Shout
like
out
it's
Chicago.
no week 30 for 30. Like none. All of them dope. The one about the University of Miami.
That's what I'm on a binge watch. Bruce Lee's about to be
The Dennis Rodman one was crazy.
Dennis Rodman one was crazy.
Ah,
Yeah, that
okay.
one was dope too.
They
who
started
else?
talking about how his sisters used to dress him up like a girl when he was young.
Okay.
And that's what translated to his hobbies later on in life. It's just interesting where habits come from, man. They don't just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah, if
Sure
you ain't been on them 30 for 30s, you can definitely go. That OJ Made in America one, that shit was cold. That OJ one is
Yeah, that was one of the best ones I've
that
ever seen.
OJ one is sick.
Since we on Salih's section, I just got to give a shout out to Don Toliver. So many times, man, they criticize, his generation, but I never hear people really talk about it when they get it right.
Right.
Like Don Toliver is one of the albums I could play that like when we working out, we play the whole album and we played it yesterday with no stops in it.
Wow.
Scott, he jamming, bro.
I don't even know
Not that
who
many
y'all
albums
talking-
out there. Like
Man,
Bro,
when
he-
I put it,
I
I
don't
put
even
him on
see-
to it one day. He was like,
jamming.
man, who is this? He was hooked ever
Don
since.
Toliver, bro. Like I went and bought the whole album. Is he jamming?
Is he independent?
He from Houston.
From Houston?
No, he signed
Nah,
to
he with Travis Scott.
Travis Scott.
Oh.
But jamming, oh my! And yeah, another
That's
song
my
I want
ride
to talk
on
about.
music
I
thing.
know, I know that it was a while back, but I just want to give him his props. The 21 Savage song with J. Cole.
Yeah.
I just thought that should have got more credit, bro, from all the way across the board. You know, because folks criticize, but when people really, really do it right, you know, folks act like it be roaches in the room and shit and don't want to give it up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I really thought it was dope. Shout out to Schoolboy Q. He been getting a whole bunch of burn in the jail too, man.
Oh, yeah,
Shout
yeah,
out to
yeah.
Schoolboy. All right, y'all. We are about to go to the sweat check with Scott Parker.
Oh shit.
We have never heard you say that before, Scott.
shit.
That is funny. You usually lay back in the cut like, yeah.
It wasn't an assignment. I didn't receive that assignment. My apologies.
Sweat check. Sweat check. Scott ain't even really got it yet. Sweat check. Sweat check.
Sweat. No, no.
Tell me about that black seed oil, Scott.
Scott about to tell how you can get abs in while you smash
All right,
yourself.
if y'all want to have a sweat check, let's talk about alcohol and its effect on fitness. How about that?
Yes, let's do it.
Regina, did you know that alcohol is a sugar?
Yes.
So you can get diabetes and cancer from alcohol use just as quickly as anything else.
Now,
It's a
that I
sugar.
didn't know, Scott.
Now, Banner, historically, did you realize that alcohol was what messed up the Nat Turner revolt?
I didn't.
He was
There's a
drunk.
book called The Fires of Judah.
You gave it to me. You remember
I
when they
got
sent
it.
it to you before it came out?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Yeah, you
In
gave it to
that
me.
book, it talks about how when that revolt got to a wine cellar and they all started drinking, and that's what disbanded the whole thing and allowed them to get infiltrated and everything else. It all started with alcohol.
Yeah.
And if you think about what European culture does when they travel across the globe to swallow other cultures, one of the first things they bring is the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what they did to the American Indians with liquor. They did the same thing in Australia with the Aborigine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right now it's illegal for an Aborigine to drink alcohol outside.
Wow.
Because of what it does to their spirit. They don't call that shit spirits for nothing.
Yeah,
It weakens us.
yeah, that's true.
And the
You'll have some
the
dreams
crazy
of
thing
it.
about the Native Americans is you can tell the adverse effect from the time that the alcohol
was introduced.
It's crazy.
Yep. Even in South Africa, when I first time went to Johannesburg, I found out that them brothers that's mining the diamonds and the gold and the other gems down there, they pay them with alcohol on Fridays.
Yeah.
They pay them with some cheap form of liquor, like some Mad Dog type elixir every Friday, and that's what they work for. It's highly addictive. They wild out all weekend, drink it all, come back Monday and work for some more.
Is that equivalent to a 40, the Mad Dog?
No.
No.
Just asking.
Get some of that. You ain't never had no Orange Jubilee?
40 is
No.
the quantity, but it is
I
usually.
know.
40 is malt liquor.
I know what 40 is.
Mad Dog
I'm
is-
saying-
Mad Dog is cheap wine.
Oh, like what I drink.
No, way cheaper. We should get us some Mad
Always call
Dog.
my wine
No,
cheap.
let's not-
Hey,
let's not
Scott,
do
get us some
that.
Orange Jubilee.
Let's
Let's
not
get
do
us some of
that.
that white lightning one time.
Wine
Let's
cheap.
not do that.
Okay, sorry.
Some
So
Wild
for-
Irish Rose.
Yeah.
Wild Irish Rolls, all that.
You get
But
the-
from a physical standpoint, did y'all know that once you drink 2 drinks, your body can't burn fat for 48 hours? So what happens is your liver gets saturated with alcohol and it stops doing everything else that it needs to do in your body. And one of its major functions is fat burning. So you can drink liquor and eat, grilled snapper and asparagus. It's turning into fat. And Banner, don't get me wrong, they might not know, but I used to put them drinks down.
You were
So
the word.
I'm not preaching from an uninformed place here. You know what I'm saying? I used to go at it. And so I remember the first time, and Banner knows this, the first time I stopped drinking, I lost 13 pounds in 3 weeks. Just from cutting alcohol.
We used to drink so fucking much. I'm gonna tell y'all,
God.
has we said this on the show? Scott house parties used to be so fucking dope that he had liquor sponsors for house parties.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hard.
That's a
really
true story.
Yeah.
That's a true story. They used to
Lee?
send the little shot girls
said
to come
Lee?
with set everything up in my backyard.
Hey.
They were really good because he's like,
Imagine
yeah, yeah.
With us doing them
Boy.
days. Lee probably
Boy.
would have ran through that bitch.
Oh my God.
I'm serious, dog. Hey, Scott.
That's funny.
Y'all always want to give me these damn 1980 Bird and Magic stories. Fuck that. I need some action.
He said, what's up, guy?
You You missed it, dog. You missed it. We ain't got that kind of energy and focus no more.
bro.
Well, all y'all gotta do is just set it up. I'll go get the buckets. Y'all just gotta set some picks.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
man.
Y'all just gotta right
And
here.
you know, my last point.
Set a couple
my last
screens.
point-
Lean in a little bit.
Man,
My
I'll carry
last
it
point on
home.
the topic is they don't put all those liquor stores in our community to do us a favor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anything that's targeted towards Black folks only from a marketing perspective, you got to be leery of.
I have a personal question for you, Scott. This is something that I fight with a lot.
Mhm.
You know that it was a dry county in Brookhaven, Mississippi, where my family is from, up until about 5 years ago, and you know, I had an opportunity to maybe put a liquor store, and that was one of my big. I was like, just because as much as my family drink by themselves, we can
Yeah,
say
y'all,
just
it's
a
gonna be a thriving
wholesale.
business.
but I didn't do it.
Since swag by there,
Yeah,
we
man.
good.
I didn't do it just because of that reason, man. We know what that shit for, and it's just
I'm torn on that, man, because all those other cultures come in our community and sell that stuff. And so at least if it was a Black person owning it, the money could get recycled. So I'm got a mixed emotions
with
on
you.
that, man.
I'm 100% with you. Like
Somebody gonna
they
sell
gonna
it.
get it. Yeah, they gonna get it. So better to get
And
it
I
from
hate
me.
that money comes in and leaves. Sweat check, no more than 2 drinks. So if you're going to drink, try to keep it
So
to
what's
2.
your definition of 2 drinks, real quick?
Doesn't matter. 2 beers, 2 glasses of wine, 2 shots of liquor, 2 drinks.
So anything past 2 shots is 2 drinks. That's what you're saying.
Anything past that, your liver's gonna turn off
I
for 2
bet.
days. And then what happens when we do that every day, 3-4 days a week, over time,
You
your
backed
liver
up.
never gets back to 100%.
Right.
So your fat burning, even on your best day, you might only have 60-70% of your liver function. So, you know, that term beer belly is a real term because that alcohol makes you store fat around your waist.
Word.
thank you, Brody.
Thanks, Scott.
I hate to burst y'all's bubble.
You
I know you're
definitely
gonna want, but you asked for it, so I got you and to give it to you.
Appreciate it.
You touching mine. You fuck mine all up. You got me off. Do it again, Regina.
Because guess what we're going back to today? David Banner shop, son.
Okay, let's get it. Then.
We want y'all
That
to
red
go
is
shop.
hanging. What that red hoodie? What's up with that?
That's red.
That's she the only one with that. Tell them that,
Only
Regina.
one
You
look.
always talking.
Oh, yeah. See, today's Black designer is a Banner Vision. We want you guys to go to davidbannershop.com, www.davidbanner.com. Everybody here's got some. Scott got the hat.
We gotta get
the
Tommy some
flag.
hats.
Yeah, we do.
Corey got the flag in the back. We've done so many things. These awesome shoes. Ooh, see, Joe, watch out, boy. Bruce Lee coming
Hey,
up.
Should actually put it on him.
You see it? Oh, he almost had it, boy.
Rest in peace, seafood.
Snap front
Yes.
kick.
Yes.
yeah,
Banner
we got
Vision.
some real good new stuff coming too.
I mean,
Just
yeah,
give
like
me,
very
just give me a
soon.
hot second. You know, everything just back moving around. But I got some new shit.
You
for
have.
y'all.
We got
I'm
some
really
dope
proud
stuff
of you, man.
coming up.
Man, you know, that's what I do.
So keep checking, you guys.
Hey,
And when
Scott.
we say it's limited, wait a minute.
You
We
have
need to say
to,
this.
you have to actually highlight Salih as the Black designer.
He is the Black designer.
You know?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Design these.
Yeah, I know. She said design these.
design
See how
No,
she do it?
he is. You've done a great job. We have
talk
like 3 or
about
4
this- I talk
great
about him
things
all the
coming up
time.
that Lee has designed.
I don't do a
And
good enough job.
yeah, he does.
I know you.
But
know.
I just want to tell you guys, when you shop with us, when we say limited edition for a period of time, please get it then. Don't keep bothering.
Because I don't bring it back.
Yes.
FYI.
And it's not coming back.
And like
ever.
Salih said, like we gotta be honorable people. We gotta be about our word. So if we tell you that it's limited edition, it's for a reason. It's
Yes.
not just because of the clothes. It's not just because of the money. It's because that we're men and women of our word. So it's a lesson in being activated. If we say we need you at the Capitol building, it's about to go down. We need to know that you're gonna show up. period.
And y'all know
Ain't
what?
showing up.
Yep.
Damn, Scott. What's wrong,
Ain't showing
Scott?
up.
Stop,
You know what I
man.
love about
It's
it,
not
though?
showing up.
We represent our
Not
stuff.
for the real thing.
Like, look at us today. Like, not just because we on the show. Like, it's real. Scott,
see,
Corey,
Every
we
day
all
I got on
represent.
something.
Corey got your shoes in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yep, man, he has a sticker over
Hey,
here. Like,
Scott.
we represent
Oh,
flag.
Scott, is your
yeah.
phone by you, Scott?
No, don't show
I
me
gotta
that
send
right
it. I gotta send it to him. Scott, I'm about to send you something.
Regina, say something nice real quick, because they about to start.
Hey, you too. Hey, I'm about to send it to you too, Corey.
Praise the Lord.
Say that some more, because what he about to do.
Yeah, I'm about to take it there. I don't know
His-
how I
his
didn't send
phone
it
is
to
about
Scott
to
already.
set
I'm
on
not gonna
fire.
show Regina.
Ever, promise?
Please,
show
don't.
it.
I'm
He
not
said ever?
looking. I'm not
Yeah.
looking anyway. Because
He said
I'm
ever.
glad
Hey,
you're
y'all
actually
don't say
between
nothing
us.
about it on the podcast.
Man, why? Corey can cut it out.
No.
He can.
No.
You see that? We both
No.
said no. That was
Yeah,
awesome. In
no.
key. Let's try again. No.
Man, Corey,
But
they
it-
gotta say something right
But it
now.
was great
Let's-
product placement.
What's up? Look at Scott.
Hey, this is about to fuck y'all up.
Tony Nova.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Look at Corey.
We done made
I
it.
can't.
We done made it.
That's just wrong.
Wait a minute. Mute it. Hold on.
We don't want that.
Hey, but
product,
hey, look,
right?
one thing. Look in the back. It's a framed picture of the state of Ohio in there too. We implicated like a motherfucker.
Oh shit. Hey,
I'm done.
if that was federal information, we all going to jail.
Y'all are.
All right, y'all. So today's topic.
Hey, what's going on? This is Dirtbag Corey. I wanted to break in real quick to say a couple things to lead us into the topic of the day. With so many Black men in this country incarcerated, we rarely ever hear about how that affects their families, in particular their mothers. Now, I've known Regina a long, long time, and I never knew until today that she had a son who was currently incarcerated. So first and foremost, I want to thank her for having the strength and the courage to speak on it. And I think that this topic and this discussion is going to really hit home for a lot of people. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Today's topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to tell them about it?
No, you tell them about it. I'm just going to be here bracing myself.
Huh?
Bracing myself.
No, you got to go and jump into
Chasing
it. I
myself.
told you I wasn't going to rush you. I told
You're
you I
not
was
rushing me.
So we want you to just start us off.
Don't put me on the pressure seat. Today's topic is about incarceration.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
As it relates to what?
Me.
Okay. How does it relate to you?
Because I have a child that's incarcerated. And it's not an easy thing.
Yeah. So, were there any signs leading up to it?
Maybe. I'm sure there were.
And the reason
I'm
why
trying to think if I remember. Yeah.
The reason why I ask is because, you know, with there being so many Black males that are incarcerated, I always said I wanted our podcast to attack everything from a different perspective. Like every son that's in prison as a mother connected to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you barely ever hear the commentary of the women who are affected on the outside. And I know personally,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how it affected you. And I know a lot of people don't know because you're one of the brightest, happiest, most positive people that I met. And a lot of times people don't know that other side of life. What was the biggest adjustment for you, you know, having your son to go into prison like that?
I think for me, the biggest adjustment was, of course, him not being there because I had him when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
So we grew up together, me, him, and my youngest son. So him not being there was the big adjustment for both of us. Mm-hmm. And, okay, hold on. I'm going to get this.
It's all good.
That and just thinking that I did something wrong.
You want to do something
Anna,
else?
right now,
You want to do something else?
No? What are you saying,
Anna,
Scott?
right now, the latest numbers I could find is about 476,000 black males in the state and federal
Thank you.
prison system right now. Black males account for 37% of the state and federal prison population. The latest numbers I could find. That's the highest. Obviously, behind that is white males at 32%. But when you look at that in relation to the population of this country, you know, they tell us we're roughly 13% of the population, but we are almost 40% of the prison population. And those percentages skew even higher when you start talking about privatized prisons. And Regina, I know your son is in a private facility.
Yes.
And the racial disparities in the private system is way worse than in the state and federal run facilities.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different reasons that they attribute to that. One of the main ones being the privatized prisons skew towards taking younger inmates. Why? Because they can work them and they don't take up healthcare dollars from their profits, which is really crazy when you think about it. You know, they put patients that are at higher risk from a health perspective. They send them to the federal system and they keep the ones that are young and healthy there so they can work them for pennies a day. And I got a whole list of companies that use prison labor. We can talk about that a little later.
And we should.
And the crazy thing, one of my college teachers gave us this book that showed when before integration, the numbers of white men that were in prison was the exact inverse to what it is now. It was mainly all white males in prison before integration. And well, actually, before the ending of, was it integration or the ending of slavery? It's one or the other. Excuse me for not being right and exact. But the point that he was making is once they figured out that the way to make America continue to thrive is to feed what made it strong in the first place, and that was slave labor. And by the Constitution, it's the 13th Amendment, the only way that they can do that again is by incarcerating people. And it's usually, skewed towards the black and brown people, and this topic was important to me because that's something that affects all of us because it affects you. So, what what were your main concerns like when it all first happened?
That he was really young, if he was going to be okay, where were they going to send him, how my younger son was going to be affected. It was just so many things like to think about, especially when you think that it'll never happen to you.
Mhm.
And then when it does, like just dealing with the ramifications of it. And as a parent, like when your child is doing time, you're doing time too. So you may be out and, living life, but I'm doing time too. And I know how you said how I laugh and smile and I'm bright, but there was a period of time when I just wasn't like, would go to work every day still, come home, cry the rest of the night. And my younger son, he had to see it all, you know what I'm saying? And he just at one point was like, Mom, like, you got to stop. Like, you raised us both. Like, it's a choice. And so that kind of start, helping me to come out of it.